Hi everyone, this is Leslie Davenport from the Pilates Center Pittsburgh. I teach the Pilates method and the gyrokinesis method and make a lot of things. Create programs, definitely operate the studio, and I also get to teach at Point Park. It's so wonderful. So thanks for watching our homework and client resources. So this client resource video is about the upper spine extension. So a lot this summer in the month of August, I definitely started to notice that I needed to include a lot more of these movements in my workouts as well as my clients. It's very epidemic, really, that we have collapsed upper backs and rounded shoulders. So you'll see youth, you'll see youth and teenagers will be rounding their shoulders. But really, if you look closer at how they're standing, or anybody who has those patterns, you might see their spine, the upper spine, kind of hunkering over, right? So what I had to really understand as a teacher is I kept trying to address my shoulders, but I wasn't actually giving my clients enough time, or my body enough time, to work on the roots under that. So the shoulders are, a cover over top the middle of the body, basically. So yes, do we need to learn how to open up our shoulders? Do we need to learn how to move well with them and keep them stable and even? Absolutely. And so of course, these resources will keep growing as we have that conversation with you. So these exercises are really great to do after you're already warm. Okay, these are a little bit more motion in the top parts of your back and spine, and so they're really not great to do, I would say, unless you are really in your abdominals that day and your back is actually moving pretty well. So I definitely would suggest you're going to want to do these after your Swan series. Any back strengtheners that you do when you're lying on the ground or when you're sitting or standing. Okay, so I'm going to show the exercise on the floor, but it could easily be done on a chair as well. All right. It's one of my favorites to teach and work on with people because I find that it's such a need. I have to really help my children, remember to take breaks when they need to in order so they can sit and stand well, right? So we're the same way. We're like that, hopefully older, wiser version. Okay, so we're going to begin with keeping the weight of our hips and the feet even. The arms go in front, right? So we're going to just do a little bit of a exhale and engage your abdominals and feel like your weight is just behind your sits bones enough that you can kind of feel like you're in your center. Things are pretty even. Okay, so we're going to set this up. This exercise does not have a name. I'm drawing from the methods that I teach, but I like to call it, like upper back arch, or this is definitely adapted from other things we do in class. Okay, so you'll recognize it, but again, chest opener, upper back arch, something like that. So if you bring your hands just behind you, we're going to put your hands just behind you and a little to the side, okay? The tighter you are, I would suggest experimenting with your hands wider, because it will give you more range in your body and shoulder for sure. So I'm going to show that kind of here to the side. So I'm a little back, I'm to the side. Okay, so first I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to press into my arms, and I'm moving my upper spine. So I'm going to kind of know that starts at the base of my throat. So I'm just going to soften my jaw and my neck muscles for a second. I'm going to swallow, right? Making sure that path is open. And I am going to place my shoulders down. I'm going to pull up through the middle of my body so I feel pretty straight now on top of my hips. Okay? My shoulders go down, and then I'm going to use my upper arms and broaden my shoulders. I'm going to really pull my shoulders open on the front. So I feel like I'm pulling the fabric of my t-shirt wide from right to left, east to west on a compass. Okay? Now I want to actually bring my skull back in space. So I'm going to relax that neck, and I'm going to move my head joint, the tippity top of my spine. I'm going to move the head joint a little bit back over top my hips. Okay, and I'm just going to wiggle up here for a second, and I'm going to see how much I can kind of bring my chest up over my arm. So I'm really driving into my arms here. Right, you can see it's definitely not easy for me. I have to really support through my tummy muscles, my abdominals, to avoid crunching my back or my neck, right? So keep that gaze up, open up your throat a little bit. Definitely do not hang back, please. That would hurt so much. So I'm just doing eyes up, opening that throat, and I'm just gonna play with it and see if I can get a good stretch from deep below my navel. Okay, and then I'm gonna relax your back forward. That was the first time. I usually love 3 repetitions. 3 is my favorite. I think 3 is the magic number, right? 3 is that trinity of things, beginning, middle, end. So it is good to do it 3 times. We're going to do it twice in our video. Okay, so we go again. We're going to place our hands just behind us, a little to the side of us. Like we said, play around. If it didn't feel right, then experiment with where to put your arms. They're your arms. Scooch into your center and find your arms, okay? So kind of finding, you can see, again, work in progress for me as I really have to work on straightening my elbows without locking. Locking my elbow is bad. Locking my elbow is a disconnect of muscular effort through my arm, the path of my arm to my spine. So I'm gonna have to find happy middle of that, all right? Long, strong, without being locked. Knees are the same way. So I'm going to go shoulder down, chest broader, collarbones really, really, really wide. And I'm going to take the nape of my neck, my head joint, needs to travel back in space. So pretend someone's got the tippity top of your head and they're actually bringing your head back over your hips. It'll feel like you're lifting your chest up over top a shelf that's behind you. Yeah, and again, just a little bit of a little playing around up there. How long, how deep, how connected, strong. Watch those elbows. Check out where the weight is on the hand. It's not on the thumb, it's on the whole hand. And we relax. All right. So after I do things like that, wow, look at my back, right? My back feels like it's much more supported. Okay, my upper body meeting my lower body. Okay, so thank you for watching this. Share it with someone who can benefit, please, definitely. And I really want to emphasize, I got this piece of feedback from one of our students who started in September. They are a remote learning student right now, and so video is part of their ongoing instruction, you know, and there's follow-up between. The student said once they saw the first batch of material through the remote learning, they said, how am I supposed to remember all this? And absolutely that feedback to the student is, you're not in this alone, right? Videos are tools, they're resources. But if you want to improve something, working with humans, right? Having a conversation, taking time to digest information, process information, ask your questions, and really, really engage. So happy learning this fall. Share it, share it, share it. Thank you very much. See you next time.